Ravin, good afternoon. Please give Ravin a big round of applause. Please give Ravin a big round. You'll see him. First of all, my apologies. Not a. I owe an apology for being late, but today it's beyond me. Though I buffered time, I did all that. But just to tell you, from Defense Colony, it's taken 55 minutes. Yeah, but I should have buffered more. Normally it takes 20, so I said 40 minutes. My team told me to come at 12:15. But anyway, I'm here and let me not waste time. First of all, I'd like to welcome our keynote speaker, Mr. Rohit Bhana. He's an enabler for entrepreneurs, runs a fund. I'd like to welcome all the jury members, all the entrepreneurs, or all the applicants of the Tech Tours. This is the second year of the Tech Tours. Let me give you a background to Tech Tours, how we started. My colleague Chetan is there. Chetan and an ex-colleague of ours, Rohit, really came to me 2.5 years back and said, we do not talk to technology companies. We don't talk to technology companies that are yet undiscovered. We don't talk to technology co-founders. We tend to focus on the entrepreneur who may or may not be a tech person. So at the end of the technology, trends are impacting our lives. So we should recognize technology founders, co-founders, and the technology leaders, both entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs. That's how Tech Tours was born. So really this is the second year, and like we do with all our Exchange for Media and Business World initiatives, especially Business World initiatives, we do our awards in a very process-oriented way, jury-led. Rohit, you've been part of jury, so you know that it's not a spiel, it's not something that I say on the stage. Nitish just passed us. Nitish was part of all the entries, and we spent time looking at each entry. Just to tell you that it takes, just to look at it in a cursory way, it takes 20 minutes. And then when you get interested, another 10, 15 minutes. So if you have about 200 entries, the shortlisting takes time. And we started to do shortlisting ahead of jury meets. Give enough time for shortlisted people to show up. I have another request that my team has made. You know who the winners tonight are. Please do not tweet now. The list is not yet public, so you know that you won. Some of you know because you're out from outstation and so on and so forth, but the list is not. Now, I'm not a technology company. I started Exchange for Media to build a Commerce One or Ariba for the media industry, and then I became a publishing and a media company. But let me do quickly justice to the topic that Chetan, Noor, and everyone gave me to speak on the technology trends that will impact our lives or are impacting our lives. And as I said, I keep a watch out for what's happening. It's my job. First of all, again, we've been talking of artificial intelligence application in every sector. I think this year will be the breakout moment of artificial intelligence in manufacturing. Artificial intelligence is a part of our daily lives, whether we look at Alexa, Siri, Google Assistant. In 2020, emotion recognition and computer vision will scale, and AI will have a breakout moment in manufacturing. There are US startups like Vicarious, Kindred, Osaro. They're already using AI technologies in a big way in manufacturing. Kindred's technology is used to automate part of distribution for apparel brands like Gap. Vicarious is another huge technology company that is attracting investments from the likes of Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, and Elon Musk. If these three have invested in a company, they must be seeing something that is really a game changer. Second, again, last 3 years, I would say, we've been talking about IoT. But I think 2020 is the year when the practical deployment of IoT will happen in all aspects of our lives. IoT is hot, but there are not as many mainstream applications today as we predicted some years back. We anticipate that with 5G, and in India 5G has been launched, and the number of connected devices and mainstream IoT applications will reach a scale that will impact every part of what we do. Just to give you an example, Amazon recently launched Amazon Go, a system that uses IoT and machine vision technology to enable consumers to shop without a manual check. Without a manual checkout. Environments will use more sensors and vision technology in enabling more scalable IoT solutions. Startups like Standard Cognition of US, Excel Robotics again in the US, Trigo in Israel, Grabango in US, AIFI, AIFI US provides similar services as Amazon Go. Trend number 3, increased demand for edge computing processing power. 2020 will see the need for a higher performance from edge computing hardware since better sensors and large AI models now enable a host of new applications. There is a growing need to infer more data and then make decisions without sending the data to the cloud. In Delhi, we don't like the cloud these days. It delays flights, but normally we like cloud, Rohit. Chip startups like Samba Nova, which is again an American company, GraphCore in Europe, in UK, Cerebrus in the UK, Wave Computing, and Syntiat have developed architectures to handle increased demand. High-performance AI chips known as neuromorphic or brain chips mimic the structure of the brain and process top AI applications. Fourth, commercialization and usage of quantum computing usage on a mass scale. We expect 2020 to begin the quantum computing era. I mean, quantum computing is mostly about enterprise in the way, but now a lot of large majors like Google have announced quantum computing on tap. I think it's a game changer in the way the whole ecosystem of technology works. And I can give examples. Corporations like IBM, Google, Intel, Microsoft have moved up the quantum computing ladder. Startups like Rigetti, D-Wave Systems in Canada, QCware in the US are disrupting quantum computing in a way that will show its disruptive impact on our lives and the enterprises that we are part of. Now, the technology will grow as it becomes easier to use with platforms such as AWS. Fifth, evolution of aerospace technology. I mean, we talk of drones and the commercial application of drones, and even in Delhi, when the CA protests were happening, and in other parts of India, the police and the security teams were able to send drones to look at what protesters have put on their rooftops without actually going in there. Now, that's really an application of drones, but when we talk of the aerospace technologies, I meet a lot of entrepreneurs and I end up asking, so who do you look up to? And some big ones, invariably they say Elon Musk. Maybe because he's on his third wife, he's remarried his wife. Maybe it's other reason, Rohit. But Rohit and me are classmates, so that's why I keep referring to him. Rohit was a topper in the class, and I have to tell you this story. My father is a professor of chemistry, so I used to do well in chemistry till Rohit came in the school in 8th, 9th, 10th. We were together in a convent school, and Rohit got out of 70, I think got 69 or 68 marks, and I got 63. And the next 1 week at home was a little tough, to put it mildly. And I've known Rohit since I met him in 85. He came to my school in 85 and became our school. And so now we've been talking about Elon Musk, so we cannot not talk about SpaceX and Blue Origin. Since the Cold War, the technological advances have slowed. Notable companies now making aerospace achievements are a household name. SpaceX is developing the rocket Starship, which will reuse the entire vehicle body. Starship may shorten intercontinental trips. Humankind is always looking for new interesting things to do, breaking new frontiers, exploring the unknown. That will become a reality. Starship will definitely shorten trips to 20 to 30 minutes via space. So if you're going somewhere, you go via space, a very long journey can be shortened by 80%. In China, the government and private enterprises, for example, there's a company called Link Space, are making progress in space. It's an area which is again in the stealth mode. Most companies don't talk enough about what they are doing, so I'm just sharing what is available in the public space. The sixth trend, new era of the internet, deployment of 5G and Starlink broadband internet technology. We have a broadband company as our sponsor, JumpNet. 5G competition between US and China is entering the main stage in 2020. I hope 2020 is about collaborative relationship between US and China and not a combative that has been in the last 3 years. There will be new competition on who can propel 5G faster into mass consumer base. And the Starlink broadband business planned by SpaceX, and they want to go commercial this year, may change again the way we, really think of connectivity. It will go to another level. I know in India, connectivity is not as good as it should be. Until 2020, as many as 2,500 satellites. In this year alone, in 2020, 2,500 new satellites will be sent into space. 2,500 new satellites. And it will, over the next 2-3 years, this 2,500 satellites is likely to, Chetan is giving me the time looks, so I'll finish, will be 30,000 satellites. And the last 2 points are, again, on the genome level, what's happening in healthcare, what's happening in agriculture. Agri-tech is becoming big. So really, I won't even talk of autonomous driving technology, but the last point is, again, for the last 3-4 years, I met a very large investor. He's a very large investor in India, and he's an Indian who lives in Silicon Valley. And I said, if I had to tell me what is one area I should focus on, I met him 3 years back, and he said blockchain. And you look at the application of blockchain in every sector. If your editorial platforms can become that editorial platform. But I really believe 2020 and beyond is about putting blockchain to practical use at a scale that we've never done. And really, America and China are two countries. Of course, you can't keep Israel behind in any of these initiatives. Really, they will introduce blockchain to prevent large-scale information leakage, internet fraud, and if you look at in China, the largest bank is ICBC, the China Industrial and Commercial Bank. You look at Alibaba, you look at the China Southern Airlines. Blockchain has become part of their DNA. And I think this will be the year that really blockchain will become mainstream. I don't want to stay between you and Rohit. Rohit, for the last 11 years, 12th year, has ran a fund. He's backed early stage companies. Lumis was a services play. He has a ringside view on what is happening in technology. I'm sure he looks at 10, 20 proposals before he funds. So he will tell us what is he betting on in 2020. I just want to take this opportunity to mention that tomorrow we'll announce the launch of our co-working and co-living initiative. It's called Super Spaces. We believe they're the new super spaces. Anuj Puri is the chairman of our jury for the Co-Living and Co-Working Awards. They're in the first week of April. We'll announce tomorrow. Second is, last year we launched our annual Women Entrepreneurship Summit and Awards. We call it Visa, WESEA, Visa. It's easy. So that happened in February. And again, the nomination for the award entries is open. We continue to do new things. In April, we also launched our new conference on data centers. If we talk of technology, data centers have to be heart of that technology. And again, there are lots of new players coming. We're trying to discover new players in every segment that we are in. And as an editorial platforms, bring the new technology leaders and enterprises to you. In the evening, we will unveil our list of tech tours. We got about 270 nominations, pruned finally about 120, pruned down to 80, 66 were invited to present. I think 32 or 34 physically came. The rest sent entries through videos or their representatives. We met on a Saturday. Mr. Sanjeev Agarwal of Helion was the chairman of the jury. Mr. Nikhil Vorai, is Nikhil here? Nikhil Vorai of Sixth Sense was on the jury with him, and there were other jury members, Mahendra Saroop, Sadia Naseem, Ravinder Pal Singh, Prashant, Ghanshyam Tiwari. I mean, most of you see him as a political spokesperson, but he's a IIM Bangalore and a Harvard alumnus and runs an EdTech platform. So really, we had an eclectic jury, and Rohit, you've seen in our juries, we really have no agenda except making sure everyone gets a fair chance. Vivek Tiwari walks in. Vivek is the founder of Medica Bazaar and was one of the shortlisted entries for Tech Tours. So really, when you see that list tonight, it's a list that has real winners. They are leaders of future. You'll see these companies and entrepreneurs grow. We discovered at least 10 new companies that we hadn't heard of, and we'll do a special issue to kind of feature their vision and their stories. So when you see the list tonight, I think there are a certain number of winners, and the jury has done a special or tech toss to watch out. So they were close, but the jury has chosen less than 20 tech tours and about 5 tech tours to watch out for. They were very close. So really, out of the 200 odd, we've gone down to about 20. That's a good ratio that we follow. 10% of what is applied is a good number for us to kind of look at really the best of the best. And other companies are promising too, but as happens with jury, we are all human. So whatever was presented to us, and again I want to say that if you're entering an award, make time to come and present. The founder should come and present. It makes a difference, because nobody carries the passion that a founder carries, and the vision, and to be able to answer the queries of the jury. We ended up spending 30 minutes on some entries in the jury meet. So really it was a very involved, detailed process. And we thank you for participating in Tech Talks. I look forward to Mr. Bayana's speech and look forward to meeting you in the evening. Thank you.